Welcome to the dsm-firmenich Mycotoxin Survey. My name is dsm-Müller and I'm a technical expert for mycotoxins. In this short video, I want to have with you a look on the mycotoxin contamination in wheat grains during the last year, so from January to December 2024, with a focus on the main producing and big exporting countries. So let's dive into this topic. First, if we look at all wheat grains globally collected, we can see that over 1,000 samples have been analyzed. But especially for sen and don, we have most samples analyzed, over 1,700. When we look at the abundance of mycotoxins, here in the left corner, we can see that don is the most prevalent detected mycotoxin, present in 61% of the samples, followed by cerealenone, fumonisins, and aflatoxins in 11% of the samples. Now, if we have a look at the average levels of concentrations in ppb, we can see that it's a bit increased for don, with over 470 ppb on average, and that it shows a high maximum with over 14,600 ppb. The average levels of sen and T2 and fum are rather moderate. The average levels of aflatoxins are a bit decreased with 6 ppb, but aflatoxin is less prevalent, only in 11% of the samples. If we look at the co-contamination, so all samples analyzed for more than one mycotoxin, we can see that 43% of the samples also contain more than one mycotoxin. So most samples are contaminated at least by one or by two mycotoxins or even more. Now first, let's go to wheat grain from US. Here we have over 20 samples analyzed, and we can see that, again, deoxynivalenol is the most prevalent mycotoxin in almost every sample. It shows a very high average concentration of over 1,000 ppb, and a maximum of over 4,500 ppb. The next prevalent mycotoxin is cerealenone. It's known that don and sen, they often co-occur in samples. Here the average is a little bit increased with 57 ppb. Less abundant is T2 toxin, ochratoxin A, and fumonisins in 5% of the samples. T2 toxin shows also a bit increased average levels of 142 ppb. In wheat grain from US, you can see that co-contamination is very high, with 81% of the samples containing more than one mycotoxin. Now, if we look at wheat grain from Australia, here 44 samples have been analyzed. We can see that fumonisins are frequently detected, but at very low, moderate average levels, and that also the other mycotoxins, they occur at low average concentrations. So a very moderate contamination. When we look at wheat grain from France, it also shows a moderate contamination, but we see don quite frequently in 70% of the samples, with a bit increased average of 250 ppb, and also sen in almost every third sample. From Ukraine, we have a limited sample number, which indicates as the mycotoxin levels that can be expected there. 30 samples have been analyzed. Most frequently detected is deoxynivalenol in 47% of the samples, followed by fumonisins and T2 toxin. Average concentrations detected are very moderate. So overall, in wheat grain globally, we see don poses the most risk to animal production. We have co-contamination, very often with cerealenone. Then we can see that the wheat grain from US, it shows the highest risk compared to the wheat grain from France, Ukraine, and especially Australia, which shows a moderate contamination, at least in the last year. Thank you very much for your attention. To find out more about the World Mycotoxin Survey, please visit our website.